This is Library Nerds with Words, the podcast that gives you the word on all the cool, nerdy happenings at Peter White Public Library and the library universe beyond. From books and concerts to search engines and story times, the Library Nerds are in and ready to show you that being a nerd can be cool. Get ready, get set, get nerdy. We are back with another episode of Library Nerds with Words, the podcast that gives you the word on all the cool things happening at Peter White Public Library and the library universe beyond, straight from the lips of those who know it best, library nerds. My name is Marty Ackett, and I'm the adult programming coordinator for Peter White. And joining me this week in Nerdlandia is the head of adult services, Amy Salminen. Welcome back to the podcast, Amy.
Hey, how you guys doing?
All right. Well, I'm so excited to have you back on the podcast. It has been quite a while.
Yeah.
I didn't realize this since you've been here to the Nerd Penthouse. Of course, we are kicking off all of our summer programming and services, concerts on the steps, author readings, movies, and more. And of course, since we are a library, no summer vacation would be complete without some good beach reads, although we highly encourage people to keep library books away from sand and water.
Yes, sand is our nemesis.
Yes.
So is water.
Yes, exactly. So you might say that our summers are all booked up. Yes, that is a clue as to what Amy and I will be talking about in a little bit. But before we get into all of that, we have to play a round of Word on the Nerd. Now, this is the game where I find out a little bit more about my guest nerds. I'm going to ask you 3 library nerd questions about yourself, and you have to answer them for the listeners. So, Amy, are you ready to play?
I'm ready. Let's do this.
All right.
Word on the Nerd.
Amy, this is going to be a little game of Would You Rather. I'm going to ask you 3 Would You Rather questions, and you have to truthfully answer them. And since it is summer, all of your questions today are going to have to do with books and summer or hot summer days,
of
vacations.
Course.
Okay, so here we go. This is your first question. Would you rather have to go to the beach, read Jaws, and then go swimming in the ocean? Or would you rather go to the Stanley Hotel in Colorado, the inspiration for Stephen King's The Shining, for a week-long vacation where you have to read The Shining and stay in room 217, the most haunted room in the novel?
No, I am doing Jaws. I will swim in the ocean rather than go through The Shining. No, we are not doing The Shining. I am not a Stephen King fan because he freaks me out.
Okay, you know what? I would be totally on with you on that. I would go to the beach. You can
go to the
avoid
beach.
Sharks. You could just wade.
That's right.
Know?
That's right. They're not going to come that far close.
And instead of staying in a haunted hotel room, no.
It's
not going to happen.
No, not going to happen.
All right. Well, as you know, the questions may get a little harder from here on out, Amy. So here's your second question. Would you rather have to eat meals all summer prepared from the Serial Killer's Cookbook, which has recipes from the last meals of famous serial killers? Or would you rather have to eat meals all summer prepared from the cookbook Revolting Recipes from History, which includes such delicacies as cow udder and pickled brains?
Oh, I'd rather eat the serial killer's last meal, man.
They're not going to order weird stuff.
They're not going to order weird stuff. They're going to get the comfort food. They're going to be comfortable, and they're going to totally have good food because they know that it might be their last time.
It's going to be their last time.
Yeah.
So they're going to order steak, eggs, and
they're going to order the good for breakfast. Yes,
whatever it is, because cow udder. No,
we're not doing that. No.
Yeah, that's not fun. Okay, well, here's your last question. I don't know. This might be the easiest or the hardest. Here we go. Would you rather ride down the Mississippi on a raft with Huckleberry Finn for a summer vacation? Or would you rather go on a restaurant tour of Germany for a summer vacation with Augustus Gloop from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory?
I would definitely do Augustus.
I
would go to Germany anytime. I actually have a pen pal in Germany.
Okay.
And she's awesome. And she has her family there, and they're living in Germany. So I'd definitely hook up with her. We'd grab Augustus, and we go total
and Augustus
foodie.
Would know where to go for
exactly.
good food.
Exactly.
He's not going to lead us to some skeezy little restaurant.
No, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, so Augustus Gloop all the way.
Mm-hmm.
I asked all these questions to Andrea Marsh, my office mate. she answered the same.
Did she really?
Every single answer was the same as yours.
That's great.
So,
she would.
Although she said she was indifferent about the cookbook one because she says, I'll eat anything. So I said, you're going to try.
She's brave.
She really is because she's got, she's very adventurous when it comes to food.
Yeah, I'm not that adventurous.
If someone puts a plate of pickled brains in front of me, I'm going to...
I'm not a pickled person. So, I would not even think about that.
It would be bad.
It would be bad.
All right. Well, there you go. We have come to the end of this summer books and vacation edition of Word on the Nerd, this time with Amy Salminen, the head of adult services here at Peter White Public Library. Now, in case you are trying to read my mind, another clue as to the topic of today's episode, it is time to reveal what burning subject is on Amy's mind today. So, Amy, why don't you share with listeners the word? All right, Amy, what would you like to talk about today?
Well, today I want to talk about the 2025 Summer Reading Challenge for adults.
Yes.
Yes, kids are not the only ones that have summer reading anymore. We have fun too. So we again have these bookmarks that you would fill out to participate. First, read a book. Second, fill out the bookmark. You can fill up to 10 of them out during the summer and turn the bookmarks in at the reference desk by August 2nd. Bookmarks will be available June 7th, so you have almost 2 months to go ahead and fill those out and read up to 10 books. We do have prizes this year, sponsored by the Friends of the Library, which is really cool. Wow. And for more information, check out our website. Okay. We're also doing a series of programs called Art Escapes. Our theme this year is Color Our World, which is an art theme. So we're doing Art Escapes for adults. And they're going to be 4 different sessions. The first one's going to be adult coloring. The second one's going to be card making. The third one's going to be rock painting. And the fourth one is Bring Your Own Project, BYOP.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So those are all on a Thursday afternoon. Check out our calendar for dates. The first 3 are registration only, so please call the reference desk at 906-226-4311 and sign up. So it's first come, first serve.
First come, first serve. I would get into the coloring. I'm not a really crafty kind of person, but I could do the coloring because that's very relaxing and.
Well, yeah, and you can for BYOP, bring your own project. You can bring anything.
I could bring my notebook and sit down and write poetry. So.
Exactly. Just totally bring whatever you want. I'm going to bring my knitting, and I'm just going to sit and knit for an hour.
Right.
And it's going to be relaxing and fun, and you can be with other people and
talk
enjoy
about books if you want, or anything else. And now, I have a question. Maybe readers are going to wonder, is there any kind of limit as to what kind of book you have to read?
Definitely not.
Okay.
So you can read any type of book. It can be an audiobook. It can be a book on CD. It can be a print book. It can be large print. It can be whatever.
A comic book? Anything?
Graphic novels are welcome.
Yes.
Anything. So go ahead and read that. We ask that you rate the book on stars from 1 to 5. And then at the end of summer reading, I actually write a What's New article for the Mining Journal. And I list the most popular books of the summer.
All right.
So look for that in August.
Do you have any idea of what you think the most popular book is going to be this summer?
Ooh, I don't know. That's going to be a tough one because last year The Women was the winner.
Oh, yeah. That was such a good book.
And, Kristen Hanna's been very popular. We see a lot of her books come through. I can't keep them on the shelf. I honestly don't know what's going to win this year. It's going to be interesting to see what people pick up and read this year.
It really is because, for me, it always seems like the book of the summer sort of comes out of the blue and nobody knows about it, like in May, and then suddenly everybody's talking about it in August. So, it's always exciting to see what people sort of gravitate towards.
Right.
So, I'm not going to... Now, can you give us a little, preview of what the prizes might be?
Well, the prize this year is actually a tumbler that's got the summer reading logo on it, and then it's sponsored by the Friends of the Library.
Nice.
So the tumbler will have a metal straw with it. So those are the prizes. We are giving out 40 of them.
That is so cool.
Please remember to enter your 10 times if you can. And be in the running for those prizes because that's fun. Okay,
so you got it. I could use a new tumbler.
I know.
So, that everybody could use tumblers, I think. All right. Well, there you go. That is the word on adult summer reading from Amy Salminen, the head of adult services here at Peter White Public Library. However, before I let you leave Nerdlandia today, Amy, we have to do one more thing. We have to find out what you've been reading. That's good. A title that you may have been haunting your days or nights, although I know you don't like Stephen King.
No.
But it's a little segment on the podcast we like to call Off the Shelf. All right, Amy, what book would you like to recommend today?
Well, this is a book I've been recommending all year because we read this for Nonfiction Book Group in September. And it's Erik Larson's The Demon of Unrest. It's his brand new book that came out last summer. And it's about the dawn of the Civil War. So at the outbreak of the Civil War, how it started, what happened, how Lincoln came into power. And it's just totally filled with suspense, drama. You get to know the people that are involved very intimately. Erik Larson did a great job of researching for this book. You get to hear stories from different people, from their diaries and their letters. And
it's nonfiction, you said,
It's
right?
Nonfiction. So this has actually happened. And, we all know what happens.
Oh, yeah.
But the suspense he builds is just intense, and you're like, when is it going to happen? When is it going to happen?
Yeah.
When are the first shots going to be fired? And he takes you to the end, and you get to learn more about the start of the Civil War in America, and it's wonderful. He's a wonderful author. He was the author that wrote Devil in the White City.
Oh, I love that book.
And he also wrote In the Garden of Beasts. So you might have known those titles. He's a very prolific nonfiction writer, and I can't wait till he writes another book.
All right. Well, it's Demon of Unrest by Erik Larson. And we do have it here at the library. We have a few copies.
We have 5 copies, actually.
5 copies, so there you go. Demon of Unrest by Erik Larson. That's Amy's recommendation of a book that you should pick up off the shelf. And that's also the end of this week's summer reading episode of Library Nerds with Words, believe it or not. Thanks again to my fellow library nerd, Amy Salminen, head of Peter White Public Library's Adult Services, for just being the coolest nerd on hot summer days. Come back next month when Amanda from the Teen Zone and Ben from Tech Services will be back to talk about movies that tickle your funny bone. So until that time, everyone, stay nerdy. Thank you for listening to Library Nerds with Words, Peter White Public Library's weekly podcast, giving you the word on what's cool at the library. The theme for the podcast is Happy Clappy by John Bartman, used courtesy of Pixabay. This episode was written and produced by Martin Acketts and sponsored by Peter White Public Library. Until next week, pick up a good book, listen to some good music, watch a good movie, attend a great event, and remember, library nerds are the coolest people around.